Good morning, Kitchen Witches. Today is Tuesday, June 2nd, and this is your tarot and menu inspiration for the day. My name is Chef Lisa. I am chef and editor-in-chief of Chef's Grimoire magazine. This is how we're going to menu plan. We're pulling a card for the day anyway, so let's have it do double duty and help us plan our meals too. So we are going to do this. We're going to shuffle and think about Tuesday, June 2nd. What is our card energy? And what meals are we going to make with the energy of that card? All right. Well shuffled. Here we go. Ready? The Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles. So, novices, those that are just starting out with tarot, there are major arcana and there's minor arcana in the deck. I have 78 cards. This is one of the minors. And all the minors have 4 suits, right? So you've got pentacles like this. There's also 10 minor arcanas that are swords. There's 10 that are staves or wands. And there's 10 that are cups. And then there's aces, but that's a different thing altogether. And then there's court cards, which is a different thing altogether, but they're all within the minor arcana. Just know that. So this is numbered 6, and all of the minor arcana have a major arcana that rules it. In this instance, number 6 in the major arcana is the Lovers. The Lovers. So this card has Lover's energy in addition to its own. And if you are looking at this card, you can see there is an individual that is passing out their coins to these other individuals that don't seem like they are as prosperous. So it's a give and a take, giving and taking, and that's what all of life should be, right? We should all have enough where we feel like we know we have enough, right? Whatever enough is for you. I don't know. What is it? And that's something to consider today. So what is enough? Is it a monetary number? Is it knowing that you're secure where you live? You're not in an area where you hear gunshots out the window. You're secure where you live. Is it a feeling of I have enough? It could be as simple as that. So what is enough? And when you reach that point, maybe yes, you have extra on the side. But now you have enough, you have extra for a rainy day. What now? Well, now is the point where you start to think about giving, right? Giving back. I love when I can do that. I really do. It makes me feel elated when I can give back. There's many times where I can't, and I'm sure you're the same way. But when you can, it's a magical moment, and that's what this card represents. It's the time where you're going to give back. But it could also be that you're taking, right? These two at the bottom, they're taking. So is your day today something happening where you feel like you have an excess of something to give? Or is it where maybe I don't, and I need to reserve or take something that's being offered? Maybe you're on Facebook and you go to the free section and somebody's giving away plant pots that you need but don't have the money to buy. So you go, you pick them up, you make a friend. They're giving because they have excess, and you're taking because you're in need. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just life. So that's what this card is doing today. It's asking you, is today a day you can give? If so, do it. It's going to make you feel good. If not, it's time to take. And don't feel guilty about that, because we all have to at some point. So how do we make this card count in the kitchen? Well, oh, and did I say this is Pentacles? Pentacles is very earthen energy. So it's heavy, dense. It's things you could touch, things you could feel, things you could accumulate, things of abundance, right? And that's what this card is telling you in a nutshell. So how to bring that into the kitchen? I'm thinking, let's consider making extra for freezer meals for a rainy day when we're going to need it, right? So we're giving and taking for ourselves. We're taking the energy to build a meal, but we're going to make extra. And what you do with that extra is up to you. Are you going to make that extra to give to maybe a girlfriend that's going to have a baby soon, and she needs freezer meals in her freezer, so when the baby comes, she doesn't have to worry about feeding her family? Yeah. Or a friend that's sick. Maybe they have, I don't know, today it could be COVID, it could be flu, who knows, right? But they're down for a couple days. Maybe make extra and give to them so that they have nourishment while they're healing. Or pop the extra in your freezer so that you help yourself out on a day where it's just busy, 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 and you don't have the funds to go out to eat. You've made extra for yourself, and there you go. And you could say, thank you, self. I love those days. For thinking, right? So breakfast burritos. They are just fun, right? I mean, you can fill them with anything. We're making them for breakfast, so let's scramble up some eggs. Let's put our bacon in the oven, right? Or pan fry, however you want to make your bacon. Or sausage, or not. Saute some vegetables if you wish. A slice of pepper. What else goes really good in eggs? Onions, you know, sky's the limit. Whatever you want to throw in your eggs or throw in your burrito. Beans, sure, right? I mean, it's traditional. You got your flatbread or your tortilla, I should say, whether they're corn or flour, up to you, or they now make them in a mix. And then you're going to fill the burrito, right? How you roll a burrito is you have the round, and the filling is here, about a third of the way up from the round, not dead center, but like a third of the way up. I know I'm being a little persnickety with this, but then you're going to take the sides, fold them over the filling, and roll so that it's all tucked in. You don't just roll so the fillings fall out the sides. You have to tuck in the sides first, then roll. And then from there, you can pan fry them on either side to get them crispy and crunchy on either side to a sheet tray. And then you're going to flash freeze them if you're not going to consume them right away. So you're going to put them on a sheet tray that's lined with parchment so that they don't stick to the bottom of the aluminum sheet tray. Line them up. You've got, say, 12 sandwiches. You're going to pop them in your freezer on the tray, no coverings. And that's what's called flash freezing, because they'll freeze solid individually. And then from there, you can take them off the sheet tray, put them into a plastic bag, mark them so you know what they are and what the fillings are and the date, and put them in your freezer. And you'll be so thankful later. So there you go, breakfast done. For lunch, I'm thinking lasagna, but not just any lasagna. Let's do a healthy one. So we're going to do it with lots of cheese, your ricotta, your egg, your mozzarella, your Parmesan, but we're going to use vegetables as our lasagna, or the noodle layer. So no noodles. This is great for gluten-free too, right? And you're going to use, say, zucchini or eggplant, And you're going to take that zucchini eggplant and cut it thin, oil, a little sea salt, into the 400-degree oven until they start to be planks that you can pick up and they won't like fall on themselves. They're crisp planks. That is going to be your noodles. And then you're going to add some spinach, right? You can either use frozen spinach squeezed very dry once it's thawed, or fresh spinach that you need. If you're using fresh spinach, like the baby spinach in a big shell container, you're going to have to saute it with a little garlic and olive oil when it and chop it real fine. And then when it comes out of the pan, let that cool completely. Squeeze out the oil and make it dry. Because if you put wet spinach, either from the freezer defrosted or from the pan oily, into your lasagna, it's just gonna go, yeah, and it's not gonna look very pleasant. It's gonna taste good, but it's not gonna look pleasant. So you wanna get all that liquid out. And then we're gonna make more of a, no tomatoes in this, so nightshade allergies rejoice. No tomatoes in this. Instead, we're going to make a cheesy sauce to go with. So you're throwing together what I said, your ricotta, your mozzarella, an egg or two, and parsley goes in there, a little salt, and what am I missing? Parmesan. Mix that together. That's your thick, cheesy layer that's going to go over the vegetable layer. And then for a sauce, you can make like a bechamel, which is super simple. It's what you make to make a macaroni and cheese from scratch. So you're going to melt your butter in a pan. You're going to add flour. That's your roux, R-O-U-X. And you're going to mix it lightly so that there's no color on it. It's just white, blanco, right? And then from there, you're going to add your milk that is either room temperature or warmed, probably better. I've done it ice cold from the fridge. It just have to stir it more vigorously. And it's going to clump. Don't get nervous. It's going to clump when you start adding the milk, and it's going to thicken, thicken, thicken. And as you add more, it's going to start to become a smooth, gorgeous white sauce. From there, you can add a handful more of cheese if you wish, or just take that bechamel and pour it over the lasagna. And then into the oven it goes. And it's kind of like a reminiscent white pie with spinach, but you got the vegetables in there, and the bechamel will bind everything together with the egg, and then you can cut it and serve it, and it's a lovely lunch. And that is something that you can freeze. Yeah, you can freeze it. Lovely. And save it for later. So make a casserole for you for tonight, and then freeze a casserole for later. Gorgeous. For dinner, chicken bacon chowder with drop biscuits. So I love chowder in the summertime. It's one of the only soups I actually eat. It reminds me of summer's vacations in Maine and Vermont and, the northern hemisphere. Really good. So a bacon chowder. So of course you're going to cook your bacon, and you're going to add chicken that's shredded and cooked, right? I like to use a rotisserie chicken that I'm going to shred part of. Save the breasts. The breast could be another dinner. I love a rotisserie chicken, right? So you're shredding all the dark meat. You're saving the breasts for a different meal. And all of the bones you are putting into a plastic bag in your freezer for when you want to make bone broth. Your bacon's going. Your onion now is added to the bacon in the oily grease leftover from the bacon. You're going to add your chicken. You can add corn if you wish, right? Organic corn is coming out now, so you can add that. You can add anything you want to put in this chowder, a little zucchini, whatever, right? Make it your own. And then you're going to add chicken stock and milk. And that's going to turn it into the milky chowder, right? Now, to serve that, you're going to do a drop biscuit. And what I love are cream biscuits. These guys are incredible. 2 ingredients, well, 3. Baking powder and salt. Okay, salt doesn't count because it's in everything. 3 ingredients. So you take flour, you take baking powder, you take cold cream, and you mix your baking powder, salt, and your flour together, and you add the cream. You don't even need to measure this, guys. You're just adding cream and mixing at the same time until it comes to a mixture that you can drop onto trays. If you want to cookie scoop them, fabulous. But if you add too much cream by mistake, and it needs to be heavy cream, guys. It needs to be heavy cream. If you add too much cream by mistake, you can add a little more flour, but try not to. Try to just get it right. And then drop them onto a sheet tray, and into a 400-degree oven they go. And you don't need to brush them with anything to get them to golden brown, because the fat from the cream is going to do all of that. The fat from the cream is cold, and it's also going to cause it to expand and get flaky inside. And that's it. In the oven, 20 minutes, maybe? Cream biscuits. You can look them up online. I'm sure you'll find a recipe, but if it has more than flour, baking powder, and salt, and cream, the 4 ingredients, it's not the same thing. You could add some chopped fresh herbs to it if you wish. Right now I have lemon thyme on my porch, ready to go. Chives, ready to go. Rosemary I just bought. Basil, but those need time to get luxurious. But the other 2 I have. So you can do that, right? Throw a handful of herbs in there and you've got an herb biscuit. And they are damn delicious, and they freeze beautifully. So there you go. You're making extra to freeze, give, or for a rainy day that you just need a little love from yourself because you were thinking about it in advance. You're giving and you're taking. And that's what this card is all about. So, as always, nourish yourself and nourish those you love with your kitchen magic. And I'll see you tomorrow.